Who is the next Bucky Irving? Who is the next BTJ? Well, we're wearing the shirt right now. We're here to discuss which rookie potentially could be either one of these guys. Is there a hidden gem? And sometimes they're not hiding very deep. BTJ was pretty damn good prospect, but if you look at the ADP, he was number 7 overall. He was wide receiver 1, 2, 3, number 5, the 5th ranked wide receiver, and he was top 4 his rookie year. He's a top 10 overall pick. JD5, while we say Bucky and Brian Thomas Jr., who's the next BTJ, who's the next Bucky, JD5 was sitting there at 8 in fantasy football 1 QB drafts, and I got him at the 12-13 turn picks in one of my dynasty leagues. There are so many players we could say who are the next in this upcoming 2025 rookie draft class. Let's break down if there's anybody even remotely close to this man Bucky and this man BT. The Fantasy Football Show Graveyard Edition begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Now, before you say something as ridiculous and lazy as, Smitty, there's no BTJ. There's not going to be another BTJ. You don't know that. You don't know that because these guys went at number 7, Brian Thomas Jr., and Bucky Irving went, good Lord, where's Bucky? Can I even find there? 27 overall. Bucky went 27 overall, and BTJ went 7. So you don't know. People didn't know they were going to be as good as they were, or they wouldn't be drafted on average in those very, very low spots. Not to mention JD5 at number 8. This is crazy. This is the 2024 ADP rookie rankings. This is what the final ADP looked like before really rookie ranking ADP data got locked into place. This is crazy. MHJ number 1. Let's not call him a bust yet, but Neighbors clearly was the better player. Roma Dunze went number 3. That story's still to be told, but clearly if you were ranking these over again, Odunze would be nowhere near the top 3. Brock Bowers, number 4. Great selection, great value. Caleb Williams, number 5. What are we doing? What are we doing? Didn't anybody listen to me all offseason long? How did in a 1 QB ADP ranking, how did Caleb wind up at 5? The next Patrick Mahomes, they said. He's never been handed no one's ever been handed a better spot as a rookie QB. Yeah, we said it was JD5. JD5 was him. BT at 5, unbelievable value. Keon Coleman, look, I was higher on Keon than probably anybody, so I got to take the L on that one, but I'm still intrigued. I just think they misused him. He's a specimen. He's a great player. Big body wide receiver. Had an unbelievable situation handed to him. He fell flat. McConkey at 10, great value. Trey Benson, to be determined, but dare I say in hindsight, this is great value. Jalen Wright, Xavier Legette, Mitchell, Drake May, Marshawn Lloyd, Polk. We go over to the 20 overall. Roman Wilson, Burton, Ray Davis. This could be pretty good value this year. Ben Sinnott, Michael Penix Jr., 25 overall. Better than Caleb Williams. I draft Penix Jr. over Caleb in 2025 redraft. In 2025 dynasty, 10 times out of 10. Jalen McMillan, love that value. Still love him. Bucky Irving, 27 overall. That is the steal. The absolute steal of the 2024 ADP data looking backwards. What a marvel. 27 overall. So when we come in here and say, who is the next Bucky, we can say that with a straight face and not go, no, there is no Bucky. You don't know. If you knew, why would he be sitting at 27? We got Malachi Corley, Luke McCaffrey, a lot of busts in this draft. Javon Baker, we loved him, but they didn't use him. Tyrone Tracy, great value there. Shipley Pearsall. There is one more set of ADP data that I would like to put up on screen because I think there's one extra player that popped up. Oh, let me get that off screen. That's the upcoming ADP data. I think it was maybe this graphic here. Let me see if I can put it over here. I think it was this one. Yeah, this is one. Grendo. That was really the only one, I think, looking down that made a lot of sense after the fact, right? Yeah, nothing here. So it was Grendo 41. Grendo at 41. Bucky at 27. Tracy at 34 was great value. Ray Davis could be walking into this year. Crazy when you look at it, when you reflect back on it. And this was the entire population. Don't feel bad if you missed something. Don't feel bad if you got caught up in something. The whole world did. This is evidence of the whole world, where we went wrong, where we went right as a human populace. It was not on one person. This is the average. But who's the next monster? So looking at the ADP data right now for rookie rankings, probably the best way to do this. Let's try to identify who the next Bucky is. We'll come back for wide receiver. Obviously, we're not looking at Genties, Hamptons, or Trey Henderson. But as we start to get a little bit lower, we start getting toward this, 10 area. I think we can confidently say anybody living outside the top 10 deserves to have this conversation because they can explode from that value. The first RB, Caleb Johnson, there's upside. His landing spot, Judkins at 9. Landing spots could determine a lot, but those don't give me the vibes we're talking about. Bucky, a guy that you're drafting in the second round next year. So what rookie, incoming rookie might we in 2026 be drafting redraft style, yearly league drafts in round number 2? First guy that comes to mind is this man, Cam Skattebo. Skattebo is going to explode. And you either are on board or you're not. I don't want to hear the wishy-washy, kind of like him, but I wonder where he goes. He must go at a good location, Smitty. I don't think so. And let me highlight this ADP data real quickly so that we know exactly where he's going. Let me put this red box on Skattebo's ADP. Here it is. Skattebo going at 17 overall. That qualifies, damn it. That qualifies as the next Bucky Irving ADP wise. Again, I'm okay with some of these guys. Caleb Johnson, 11, doesn't have quite the bite that a 17 overall player does, kind of like the Bucky 27 overall ADP. So Skattebo 17, sign me up. Let me write it on the board and keep track. He's our number 1 potential Bucky Irving from this 2025 rookie class. Number 1 so far, number 17 overall, that is Cam Skattebo. Okay, so I'm going to keep track of this on the board here. Number 17, ADP, Cam Skattebo. So far, so good. I'm liking that. You start scrolling down a little bit. Dylan Sampson, 20 overall. You bet your bottom dollar we're putting the Samsonite, the briefcase, Samsonite on the board. Number 20, Sampson, potentially the next Bucky Irving. Potentially, as we scroll through and find the next Bucky. I don't see anybody else. Let's set this to the side. We'll put the ADP ranking down here, real nice and small. We'll come back to that and reference it when we need to. Here is the next lot of ADP gentlemen. We have RJ Harvey. You bet your bottom dollar. Number 24. He deserves to be on this list. Harvey, very good, exciting kid. I like his value a lot. I think that you're going to steal him away. Landing spot could move him from 24 overall to 15 to 12 to 9 overall. My favorite player, I think, past Skattebo, and maybe even more given the cost of entry, is Bashal Tutin at 26. And boy, does that mirror the Bucky Irving 27 overall value. Maybe this is a sign. Maybe Tutin will be Tutin's horn on a regular basis. Washington is picking up the phone. Washington is interested. Washington has said, we like this kid, bring him in. We're looking at him hardcore. Tutin is a lead candidate to potentially be the most capable given the ADP matches up. I love the value of Tutin. We'll be tooting a lot on this channel. Mark my words. Next up, Ollie Gordon. There's some potential here, but I'm not going to just put every running back on here. We got to draw a line at some point. Giddens, again, I like him, but I'm not gonna call him out. Martinez, I like him. I'm not gonna call him out. I think we need to be smart about this. So we've narrowed it down to 4 players. 4 guys have this. I do think that Hunter, who has I don't know where his ADP is. Let me see if I can find it. Hunter's ADP, I think Hunter needs to be looked at. He's a deep dark horse player. Potentially could go so under the radar to where teams aren't even, interested in bringing this kid in. Let me see if I can find this ADP data for him. 1 second. Let me pull up the data that I had up and see where he's at. Hunter is around, good Lord, where is he? Okay, here he is. Man, Hunter is so far down there. Hunter is right at number, where was it? 56. Woo! These are them. These are them. They are him. They are we. Look at them. ADP 17, 20, 24, 26, 56. When I asked you the question when we came in here, who's the next Bucky Irving? We weren't messing around going, oh, it's Genty. Oh, it's going to be Hampton. We're not swinging for guys going in the top 5 and 6 overall. We're trying to dig into the weeds and find the next Bucky Irving. Ladies and gentlemen,
get buckied. 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 Oh, Bucky.
Take a Bucky bath with me for a minute as we bathe in glory. These are pretty damn good calls right here. These are pretty damn good calls. Scatterboo 17, Samson 20, Harvey 24, Tootin 26, and Hunter. Love the kid. Love the kid. Jarquez is such an exciting running back. He really is. A good competition, good elusiveness, good ability to strike and find that open seam. He's really good when you watch him on film. I like Hunter a lot. The question is, of these 5, who is the most bang for the buck Bucky Irving potential? You might have to grab the number 1 guy and just say, look, Scat 17-8-27 Smitty, which is where the Buckmeister fell, which is right here. Let me pull up the Bucky Irving ADP again and just show you. Bucky Irving was again right here, 27 overall. Bucky Irving, 27 overall. So you might be saying to me, hey, Smitty, this mother freaking, Scatterboo 17 is no Bucky. Wait, where's Scatterboo? Yeah, here it is. Got so many things on my screen over here. I can't even determine where anything is. So yeah, we got the Scatterboo 17. That's no 27, but it's still very deep in the draft, and that might be the biggest bang for the buck. Or you might say something like, hey, Smitty, I think if Scatterboo does get handed, and this is very logical, if Scatterboo does get handed the best landing spot known to man, he's not going to be 17 when your draft approaches. So there is something to saying maybe Scat is going to climb too much to be in this conversation later, and we might have to resort to a different pick. So let's go over to the board again and just say, okay, Scat feels like the best right now. I can go ahead and Smitty stamp approval that as of this moment, this feels like the best case for Bucky Irving, the next Bucky Irving right now.
You've just been
However, it might not help us. This video might not help you if I just end it right there, because Scat goes to a good location in 6 days from now. In under 6 days from now, then what? You're taking him 10, 9, 8 overall. Now he's not the next Bucky Irving. He's still going to be great. You're still going to like him. You'll be plenty excited. But that doesn't help you. It only helps you if he goes to a quiet location like Bucky did. And everyone's like, Scat went to the Vikings as an example, Zach. If he goes to the Vikings, shh. Don't say anything. You might ruin it. Don't tell anybody. Then all of a sudden he stays in the 20s in Minnesota. He stays in the 20s and becomes a monster. New Orleans. You might get away with him staying in the 20s. Why? Because Kamara's there. I mean, people know it's a good spot long term, but they're not excited about it. Let's pretend he goes somewhere amazing like Cleveland to start. Now we got to go back to the board, back to the drawing board. So this is an obvious now. Maybe something gets taken away from us. Dylan Sampson, kind of think the same thing could happen to him. He goes somewhere amazing, then he's going to climb. If he goes to Minnesota or he goes to a situation, this was one of our very first Moon Men we ever dropped in the 2025 Moon Man, Saturn Men, Mars Men, Jupiter Men campaign.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
1/1/25, January 1st, 2025.
Space Monsters
is when we dropped the Samsonite, the briefcase, on Fantasy Worlds as a breakout monster. So maybe he is our guy. But again, back to the drawing board. If something happens, he's off the list. So we're going over all these. The thing is, any one of these guys goes to an amazing spot. Even if Hunter, who no one even knows about now, Jarquez Hunter, no one even knows who he is. You go ask around. I bet you 50, 60% of you watching right now, it's not your fault. He's a deep call. Don't know who he is. Never watched film on him. Just kind of maybe heard his name once or twice. This guy goes to Cleveland to be the lone starter. He's not going 56. He's going like 12 to 14. So anybody on this list, we could essentially say be prepared for them not to be a value if they go to an amazing spot. My Harvey, same thing. Tootin's kind of my most, and I love that the value of Tootin is where Bucky is, and I love that the value is so late that even if a good landing spot's handed to him, Hunter and Tootin are the most likely to not climb all the way up until like the 8, 9, 10 spot because it's such a far climb from where they were. So they'll probably climb up. But these are the truth is these are all the next Bucky Irving potential candidates. I don't even want to crown one of them because they all have that capability. We want it to be Scat probably more than any of them. We love Sampson about as much. I love Dylan Sampson. That's why he's one of the first Moon Men. We kind of want it to be Tootin because we're getting excited about Tootin on this channel. Everybody wants to toot. So that's that. Now it's time to look at the wide receivers. Now it's time to find out who the next BT is. Now it's time to get our hands dirty and go find the monster. I just don't know if there's anybody that has the BT value other than the obvious. And the thing about Bucky is he was 27 overall. So we had to look for a deep 27 overall, 25, 20, at least 20, right? At least like 18, 20, which is why we went to the 17, 20, 24, 26, 56 range. We're not digging in the 9 or 10 spot. However, the question here, BT, where's BT? BT was drafted as number 7 overall. So on consensus data, number 7 overall. So we can look higher for this one because we're trying to identify the BT.
Motion detected at the front door.
So, Ziggy, show me the front door. Who's at my front door right now? It is Ziggy, show me the front door.
Okay.
Oh, it's Miss Smitty getting in her car. Let's make sure she's safe. Ziggy, volume 0. We'll keep an eye on Miss Smitty as we're... You see me run out of the show, you know something's going on. Smitty's he's ready to rumble. Okay, so number 7 overall. Let's take a look. We don't need to go deep shopping, but we still will. We'll still look in the weeds. Here's the deal, guys. I don't think this number 5 Travis Hunter ADP is all that accurate. I find right now I get more pushback about making this guy my number 1, even number 2 wide receiver than almost anything else I get rookie pushback on. However, he's climbing. And this data right here is an average of industry rankings, not what the people think. So there's a real good chance, Ziggy off, there's a real good chance that this is more around 7 or 8 by the people, by way of the people, this particular set of rankings. This is ADP data. Where BT went last year, number 7's ADP data. Where you, me, the people, the populace, where we drafted BTJ. This ranking is consensus ranking data across the industry. So I think it's going to be more along the lines of Hunter is 7, 8, 9. But what did I tell everybody from the beginning? That this is the guy. Travis Hunter is the next BTJ. He's the one. I'd rank BTJ above him. There's no way I'm drafting Travis Hunter even a year from now over BTJ. I shouldn't say there's no way, but I'm not expecting that. But I am expecting to take him right after. I think Travis Hunter could be as good as the next wide receiver or 2 wide receivers right after BTJ's ranking. So if you're ranking BTJ and you got like St. Brown and BTJ and all those guys right there, Hunter could rank in 2026 right below a St. Brown and BTJ. Right below. So this is, to me, the next BTJ. And while he's going 5 here, again, he's going 7, 8 in your grandma league. People are scared to death of him not playing wide receiver. This is a blessing in disguise, the one that might get wiped clean the moment he's drafted and they say, we're drafting him as a wide receiver. So we might lose a little value, but the good news is this. I still think a lot of people, even though they shouldn't, will struggle with having Travis Hunter as their number 1 ranked wide receiver. Even if a team drafts him and says, we're going to use him a lot as wide receiver, but also as DB, there will be a natural, baked-in amount of people that just want to continue to throw more bad after bad on the topic. There are going to be people that have put their foot down and dug a hole and will continue to dig a hole, continue to trash talk him, continue to try and be right about their very bad and lazy take. You don't want to draft him because you're not sure if he's going to play wide receiver all that much? Scared money don't make money, and there's the door. Because we don't need a bunch of Hannock Peters or scared Scotties in this environment. This is where the big boys play. This is where if you're not first, you're last.
Take a big lap. We don't need your head mask coming back now. Take a big lap.
Take a lap. We don't need it. We don't need it. You don't need to be here. This is for big boys. Okay? You get scared of this stuff. You're a careful Caleb. You're a I never jump before I always look before I jump. Not here. Not here. And I think that what we're going to have happen here is we'll have a significant portion of the fantasy football community jump on board. And we're going to have a significant amount stay low on him. But there will be enough people of that 5 or 6 per 12 in your league that will take him and strike at 5 or 6. So on your rookie draft day, I do unfortunately believe Hunter will be 5 or 6 or 7 versus, 7, 8 or 6, 7, 8. It's like a climb 1 or 2 spots. I think that this is a little bit higher than what you'll face, but I think 6, 7, 8 is more like what you're going to see. I love this kid, Travis Hunter, to the mother freaking moon, but you heard it here before anybody got on this train. You heard it here before people had to hear the right thing before they'd really commit. You had people out there, Mickey Mouse content creators, literally scared to rank this guy amongst the receivers. I believe even, I don't want to call him out by name, but there's even one really big, former player that does a lot of rookie analysis. You might know who I'm talking about, who left him off his rankings in one of the videos. Didn't even put him there. Why? Because he was probably, I'd come back once we know he's drafted as a wide receiver. We don't play that game. We don't play.
Let him cook.
Can you imagine? Excuse me, guys. I'm not going to put Travis Hunter on the rankings because I'm scared. But if he's drafted as a wide receiver, I'll come back and then I'll redo my rankings because I'm a scared Scotty. Not me. It's my number 1 rookie receiver. My number 1 has been, never changed, never will. In fact, my cojones said Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's not stop there and call him my number 1 ranked rookie receiver. Let's take up one of the coveted 8 supernova spots and let's put him on the supernova list before anybody else gets a hold of this type of thinking, before they catch our infected, absolute monster minds.
There are handfuls of Saturn, Mars, and Moon men, but only 8 can be supernovas. I give you the 8 best picks in fantasy football.
They are the 8 supernovas. They are the 8.
Here we go. Look at him. Lamb. Who's next? There he is. Look at him.
The hateful 8 supernovas. I'm looking at the 8 supernovas. The magnificent 8.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the orbiter Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
You see those generals on the side, the graduates, the commanders? Love those guys. But there's a reason I've been scooping them up in every best ball underdog promo code Smitty draft I can. I've been drafting Hunter, probably Charbonnet, Scadaboo, and I would probably say Hunter are 3 of my top 5 drafted players. Hit that link. I'll drop it in the description here, because you can win a league off Travis Hunter. You can win a league off Dylan Sampson, Cam Scadaboo, Bashal Tootin. You can win a best ball league off of having not just one, but a couple of those players sitting there sleeping, just waiting to rise, waiting to Bucky on everybody, waiting to become that special someone in your life that comes in and makes you smile near Christmas time. I'm getting an early Christmas present. Hi, I'm Smitty. Look at me. I'm looking at my lineup. I got Travis Hunter, hang gliding. Hunter is going to hunt down your league mates, and he is the next BTJ. I will say Buka is my runner-up, and they both go 5 and 6. Love both of them. Burden's interesting. There's some intrigue here. Not saying he doesn't have that BTJ potential, but feels like a guy that might linger in the 3rd or 4th round, like JSN value potential. I think Igbuka's got a little bit more JSN value potential than I think BTJ, but Igbuka and Burden are both, candidates to be quite close. I think Trey Harris, he's intriguing and good. Higgins, I like Higgins a lot, but him again more closer to a JSN than he would be, I think, a BTJ, but still very much on the radar. Just a lot of good players, but the only one that feels the vibe, has the aura of being BTJ in training. Maybe a slightly Walmart or watered down version of BTJ. Just enough to put him in like round 2. Okay, so BTJ's at 10, 11 in a dynasty startup. You might be drafting Hunter at the 12, 13, 14 instead of the 10, 11, 12, or 9, 8, 7, whatever. You could take BTJ literally at 8 if you want. 7, no one's going to make fun of you. I think Hunter's a 1-2 turn player. Potentially. You don't take him there now. You're stealing him away. As I just said on Underdog, promo code Smitty. Link is in the live chat. I just dropped it. I'll drop it one more time. There it is. I'll pin it in the live chat. It's in the description of the video as well. This is what I'm trying to tell you is you walk into your draft. I pinned it just right now. You walk into your best ball draft and you draft Scadaboo. You draft Travis Hunter. You're scoring one of the most powerful home run hitting players you could possibly scoop up. This right here is potentially the next BTJ. And we already determined that we don't really have an ability to narrow down the RB, but I think this is a very, very good potential shot right here. And I don't want to limit it. I want to make sure all of them are on screen because they're important. You've got Dylan Sampson, the Samsonite, the briefcase. You've got Bashal Tootin. Could be Tootin all over the place. in 2025, and he can do it for you. He's tooting for somebody. Might as well be you. And then what was our other? Going back, it was Samson, Harvey, Hunter. I'll leave it here just so we don't crowd it up. I guess I could put Harvey on here. I don't want to crowd it up too much. But Harvey, where you at, Harvey? Where you at, Harvey? Harvey wants to toot. Where is he at? Harvey. Let's put Hunter on. We can't leave Hunter off. Okay. There we go. We got it. Harvey and Hunter. These are our potential Buckies. I love this video. This video could really truly help all of you. And this is not Travis Hunter. This is Jarquez Hunter. Okay, we'll put him right there. Look at it. Next Bucky, you're looking at maybe one of them right here. Next BTJ, probably Travis Hunter, and their ADPs are not far off. Let's take some phone calls. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
You want to toot? Call into the phone line. Do it live. Go watch the rookie running back video we had earlier in the evening. This is a super chat from Aaron. Appreciate Aaron dropping this super on screen. This is a $5 hauler monster. I play in a redraft with a few defensive players instead of a defensive team. I need to get him, I don't know. Hunter could break Dynasty. I'm sorry. He could break IDP. He could break IDP. We're going to hear a lot of that coming. We've said that from the beginning. I think a lot of people are going to start talking about it. He could break IDP. I think everyone's just cautiously waiting to find out how much wide receiver he's going to play. But I don't care. He's going somewhere to play wide receiver. I'm not saying he'll play 80%, but he's going somewhere to play at least 50-50. He's made it known. I want to play wide receiver. Wherever he goes, bare minimum 50-50. 50% wide receiver, 50%. Bare minimum. You can break IDP. I have a feeling that all your corrupt commissioners that are really bad commissioners, maybe 1 out of 10 of you have a good commissioner. The rest are garbage. They need to go through a Smitty commissioner boot camp. And I'm going to have that someday, very soon. Because they'll change the rules at the drop of a hat. You can't change dynasty rules as a commissioner unless you get not even a majority, a unanimous vote. You can't come in and say, okay, Hunter can't get defensive points. I'm going to change the scoring on the back end now to account for that. You can't change anything, or I'm out of there. I won't stay in a league where the commissioner makes a single change without a unanimous vote. That's garbage. Commissioners should be ashamed of themselves. There are so many bad commissioners out there. He should break IDP. And if your scoring allows for it, you leave it in. As for what will happen, Aaron, I don't know. You're going to have to check your league. But we'll see what happens. Some default scoring too by like sleeper or whatever might have that get held out. And then what do you do then? Again, you can't change it. You can't just go in and move your scoring around. Like, you got to kind of know what your scoring is. I would address this before the draft, though. If you're a commissioner, make sure you look into it so you aren't trying to make a change on somebody. I can't stand these garbage Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck commissioners that don't know what in the hell they're doing. Dial into the phone line.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Tebow says, I'm an excellent commissioner. I'm not saying you aren't. You might be the 1 out of 15, but I'd like to hear your league mates say so. How many things do you change on people with just a mere majority vote? Like 6 out of 5 people, and I'm one of them, voted for this. We're going to go ahead and make it a super flex. I'm out. I'm not playing in that garbage. Travis, you're live.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. I'm good.
So with the BTJ wide receiver, with that criteria, does it have to be like a top 5 or top 10 type guy then because of how well he finished? Because Bucky obviously started slow and then was awesome as the season went on, so there's a little more leeway there.
I mean, it's just loosely based conversation. I'm not sure that there's any. Like, I tried to match their ADPs a little bit where I could. Do I think Ibuka and Burden deserve to be in the conversation as, could be the next type of BTJ? Yeah, but Hunter Also going right where BTJ was going, 5, 6, 7. BTJ went at 7. So I think it matched up pretty well. Do I think they have to be as good? No, they're just the closest thing to it. Like these guys, because of their ADPs, mirror this. Like, is Genty going to be better than Bucky? Yeah, but that doesn't make him the next Bucky. It has to be the value grab as well. In the same kind of ADP territory with the same kind of explosion. And at the end of the day, one of these guys, if they perform at their ADP, and here again are their ADPs, if Scat at 17 or 15 or wherever he climbs, and again, the landing spots could ruin some of this allure. Samson at 20, Harvey at 24, Tootin at 26, Hunter at 56. I just predict one of these guys at least probably has the explosion from that ADP that Bucky did from his ADP. It could be all year, it could be 5 games. I don't think there's any criteria that prevent us from saying, even if, let's say, Harvey did it for the final 4 games and didn't start a game before that, that's fine. You know, that's Jordan, like Jordan Mason type of, you know, help. A small amount of games, but boy, did he help, you know, win leagues or get people in position.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah,
because obviously, you know, we had like Ladd, who ended up a top 15 guy too, which was pretty good. So I wonder, I know you probably wouldn't. I'd put McMillan in there, not because I think he's going to be a top 5 wide receiver, but I think if he landed in the right spot, he could be a top 15 to 18 guy in his first year. I still believe that. I know a lot of people probably won't.
I'm not as excited. Like I don't want to plant that flag with more than one player necessarily, so I'm fine with you doing that. But I don't, you know, he's going number 3 overall for first of all. BTJ went 7. So I kind of think it doesn't necessarily even apply because he's going 3 overall.
What, in the rookie drafts he went 7?
BTJ went 7.
Is that what you're saying?
BTJ went 7 in the rookie drafts. And Tet's going 3.
Okay.
So I don't know that I would qualify that. But I think, you know, he could be, you know, you could say, he had to be neighbors like or whatever, or I don't know. If he falls because the rookies get placed high, then I guess you could throw him in there, you know. But right now, I don't know. It's not that big of a drop. It's just
his ADP is too high now. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean he's 3. Like I don't know. You could have a conversation about it still. I'm not saying it doesn't, you know, qualify for a conversation, but for me, looking at this, I want to find someone. And again, even Hunter at 5 almost made this a hard conversation to have. But because I think it truly, let me merge Kyrie Boston on here. Because I think it truly, you're truly looking at, I don't think he really is 5. I think this data is ADP data. So BTJ did go number 7. This is not results or ADP data. This is consensus ranking data across the industry. So Hunter probably is not 5. I think he's more around 7 overall in ADP data, which we don't have a lot of good data to even use these days. So because no one does mock drafts anymore, just don't. So Hunter's probably 7, 6, 7, 8, which is right where BTJ went. So that's why it makes the most sense to compare the two. But McMillan, I do think, is going around 3 because everyone's afraid to rank Henderson right now. Everyone's afraid to rank Igbuka right now. People are not putting anybody from down here up above. I think it's Genty, Hampton, and Pet going 1, 2, 3 right now until landing spots get divvied out. If Henderson and let's say a Scattaboo or somebody goes to an amazing spot and Tet gets bumped down to 5 and Hunter's at 6, then I think you do have a conversation to be had. But I do believe Tet is going 3 in a lot of drafts.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. Because, I like Tet, but I wouldn't take him 3rd in the rookie draft. So.
I wouldn't either. DJ says, scared money don't make money. That's right. Gotta go Hunter. Ceiling to infinity. Tootin, in my opinion, similar value. Close to Bucky. Love it. Bucky would ball anywhere. Bucky would ball anywhere, and Tootin might toot anywhere. I think he could toot anywhere he goes. I think he wants to toot in Washington, though. I think he wants to get handoffs from JD5 and toot all the way to the end zone.
It's funny you mentioned Hunter. I haven't said much, but he's one of the guys the Patriots have been looking at quite a bit.
Love him.
Him, Jadon Blue, a couple other guys. Sampson.
Yeah, I like Hunter a lot. I think he's a really intriguing prospect. Really, really intriguing prospect. The only thing that you'll have in the way of Harvey, in the way of Hunter, is just how many teams view these guys as amazing players that could be their starters, and then you just gotta hope they land in the right spot.
Well, that's the odd thing with the Patriots is that the Patriots could either be a terrible spot or a great spot, because it all hinges on what they think of Ramondre and what they want to do with him, and whether Ramondre can hold on to the ball or not.
Mm-hmm. All right, Kyrie Boston, you're live. What's up?
Was Thomas the 7th pick in the draft last year? He was 7th?
What? Yep, it's right there. Yep.
Oh man, I didn't know he went that high.
Yeah, he
was
definitely.
He went pretty high.
But
I thought he was like a 2nd or 3rd round pick.
No, in your grandma league, bro. I don't know who you're drafting with.
No, I'm talking about the real NFL draft.
No.
You went 7th in the NFL draft.
Oh, Kyrie Boston, we're talking about rookie drafts though right now.
Okay.
What is it with mock drafts and drafts that you come in and you act like you got spun around 400 times and then set in place to go, fend for yourself? Whenever we get into any sort of draft setting, you're like, Smitty, I thought you liked, when I'm doing an NFL mock draft, I thought you liked him over him. I'm like, I'm not mocking for myself. Does this look like the NFL draft to you? Did Marvin Harrison go 1, Neighbors go 2, Dunze go 3, Brock Bowers go 4, Caleb Williams go 5, Xavier Worthy go 6? Come on, Kyrie. Get with the program.
No, but I thought you was calling the players from the long shot, and I figured Hunter might go like 2nd or 3rd in the draft. So I figured you might want to compare him to Neighbors. But I feel Thomas is just as good as Neighbors, though.
I still don't think you're picking up
on, but not at the draft spot, Yeah,
that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about fantasy football ADP versus their fantasy ranking. I mean, do you see a single defensive player? Do you see a single defensive player on screen, Kyrie? Is there a single defensive player on screen in numerical order on any of these lists?
Only Hunter.
Well, true. Touche. Besides Travis Hunter, do you see a single defensive player on this list? I didn't think so.
No.
I can't even yell at him after that touche moment. Okay. Anyway, who do you like out of these RBs or other?
I think
got him.
I got my money on Henderson. Henderson ain't up there though, huh?
Well, Henderson's 4, so we didn't. Kyrie Boston, go rewatch the video. I can't explain the whole damn thing to you, pal. Like, the reason we did this exercise is we're taking out all the big obvious calls. We're trying to find the next Bucky Irving, who went 27 overall in rookie-only drafts, my boy. He went 27. Bucky was the 27th rookie taken. And so we're trying to find the next Bucky. Trey Henderson, Hampton, and Genty don't qualify. I said it from the beginning. You were late to the show. I can tell you were late to class. You were late to class.
Yeah, I was. No, I came to class at the right time. But
yeah, I don't
a little bit ahead.
I don't think you ever come to class on time. I don't think you did in school either.
Late.
Yeah, I don't think you were in school either. I think you showed up late every day. Let me re-ask the question and isolate the question for you so that you can just give me an answer that we're looking for. Do you like Harvey? Do you like Tootin? Do you like Dylan Sampson? Do you like Cam Scattaboo? Which one do you like the most to become that next breakout player that's hiding a little deeper in the running back stable?
I think for his ADP, I'd probably take Sampson. I think he'll probably go.
There you go. These are all really good picks, though. They're all so good.
The Scattaboo might be pretty close, too.
Yeah, he's going
Like,
about
I think he'll go a lot higher than Sampson, though.
Yeah, the landing spots are going to take one of these guys off of the sleeper board. You know what I mean? Like if Scatterboo goes to Cleveland to be the lone starter, his 17 ADP value right now that we have sitting right here at 17, this probably climbs all the way. What do you think, Travis? If he's starting for Cleveland, he goes from 17 overall to 5 or 4 or 6 or... I mean, he could go...
Scatterboo with the rookie draft?
Yeah. 4?
If he's starting for Cleveland, he's probably, top 7 for sure.
Easy. Let me give you an example. Let's say Genty goes to the Raiders. Let's say Hampton goes to the Bears. Henderson goes to the Broncos. Scat goes to the Cleveland Browns. Ibuka goes to Dallas, and Ted McMillan goes to Carolina. We're probably looking at Genty.
He'd be ahead of Ibuka.
Yeah, so 5 or 6 maybe.
Ibuka would be second.
With all those landing spots being great. But what if Henderson's in a bad spot? What if Scatterboo is the third best running back landing spot? Then all of a sudden he's 4 or 5.
Right, Tet lands somewhere as a number 2 receiver as well. He could easily jump into the top 5. Because as much as people want to, knock Scatterboo or say he's going to go later or something like that, there's just as many people who love him.
The Scat Man. I think the next video, I know we're doing a lot of rookie stuff, but it is rookie week, so I think it's very fitting, and not one complaint has come in. Not one complaint has come in about it yet. So I think tomorrow's video will be a rookie, maybe a rookie mock draft. What if show? I just did a rookie mock draft, but I think it's important to go over this stuff right as we head in, because some of you can get those draft picks that will get these guys in trades right now, so it's important to mock it out. But I think we're going to do another mock draft, but we'll talk about scenarios. So whereas the last time I did a mock draft, we went ahead and let me see if I can put this up. Let me show the rookie mock draft. I've got it right here. What was that, Kyrie? All right, so here.
Me, I was breathing too hard. My fault.
No, I just heard up. Here's the rookie mock draft. Let me see if I can pull it up here. It's loading. Taking a while. Go ahead if you need to take another drink. We're almost loading it. Hold on. I don't know if this might have frozen my system. I may have not. I maybe shouldn't have tried.
After you look at that, I had a question about the guys too.
I'm all locked up. Damn it, I'm all locked up. Hopefully this pace here in a second. Let me add DJ to the call real quickly while we wait for this to load. My whole system's locked up. I may have tried to paste the wrong thing at the wrong time. It is not looking good. It is not looking good. DJ, what's up? You're live.
With regard to Scatterboo going to Cleveland,
good man,
would be awesome. But it seems to me with this running back draft class, it seems like there are quite a few teams, regardless of where they land, that they could take somebody's job. So when I think about Bucky Irving, he was the 4th round pick, right? I think it was a 4th round pick. Had White there. And who knew? I mean, he just exploded. And he's awesome. So it would seem to me a Bucky Irving similar value and what have you, which I think a lot of these running backs are, to your point about Scatterboo, Henderson, Sampson, and others, says, you know what? Awesome. There's a lot of value all the way across the board. And I think a lot of these guys are going to end up taking quite a few of these jobs.
Yeah, so I don't know that we're going to say quite a few. I'm going to say there's going to be at least one kicked in the nutsack landing spot that, like, like something significant is Chase Brown, or Brees Hall, or like something's going to make us all just vomit in our mouth. But I think there'll be maybe one or two other confusing, like Judkins, or maybe it's Tootin. Maybe it's one of those guys. I think there will be a couple of those situations, but I don't know that you got to understand that while it's going to happen one or two times, the big dogs are going to go early enough, bro. The big dogs are going to go early enough that I don't know that we're going to have as big of a situation going down. Let me show this, because I think Hampton, Henderson, Genty, and probably I would say at least one other running back like Scattaboo going to a great location. Then you're talking about, okay, as much as I love Tootin, is he unseating somebody that's a monster? Probably not. As much as I love Harvey, he's a sleeper. He's a nice call. But is he unseating, somebody that's a monster? So I think we will probably have maybe one or two very, very bad situations for ourselves. But I don't think it's going to be a handful like you're suggesting. I think we'll be pretty okay. All right, hang tight real quickly. Let me just pull up this. This is what I was going to try and get to real quickly. Hold on one second. I'll come right back to you. So we've got, let's see. We've got this scene that I put up here. Let me freaking find it again. I just created it. Here we go. This is the mock draft, the last one we did. I haven't touched it. This is exactly the same. I know some of you are going to disagree. That's fine. I don't care. This is my mock draft. This is how I see it. This is my rookie Kyrie Boston, my rookie mock draft, valuation-wise. Guessing landing spots, kind of predicting things. I think what I'll do tomorrow is we'll take this and we'll move things around in what-if scenarios. I'll put a logo by Genty, LV. Now what? Nothing changes. Take the logo away from Genty. Let's put a Bears logo by Genty. Does that change anything? I think we'll go through scenarios and see where the team emblem and logo affects these guys, because this is my ranking as of this moment. Of course it's going to change when landing spots are handed out, but we'll go over that tomorrow. That'll be tomorrow's video, and I think that's more exciting than a mock draft, because we already had the mock draft. We're just going to say how important would it be for, like, would Scattaboo climb to number 3 in my mind if he's given the Cleveland Brown emblem stamped right on his forehead? We'll see. Okay, let me go real quickly over to the 202 caller. You're live. What can I do for you, 202? What's your name and where are you calling from?
Smitty, what's good, man? This is DC Dude 202. Remember me? I'm also the real Telly when I be watching you on YouTube. I don't know why I see it on my phone.
Don't be mad, but I don't remember unless you give me an example of something.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. No. Look. Listen. It's all good. Sorry. I just don't think that you're giving my guy some love, because you know what? I was on Bucky Irving early last year. I was on Bucky Irving early. Like, I had him in a lot of my leagues. He won me a lot of leagues. This year, I have my new Bucky Irving, and I don't think you're showing him enough love. And that is Devin Hill from Kansas. He's the new Bucky Irving.
He's okay, but I don't see him being Bucky. But I like him. And his landing spot could make him jump up above maybe one or two of these guys. Certainly, this is what we talked about. Like when I went through the ADPs here, there's a couple guys here that I wanted to potentially mention. Neal's definitely, a good candidate to talk about. I'm not calling him trash. I think landing spot is very, very important for him. And Neal could go straight into the top 5 running backs, as could a landing spot for Hunter. And Hunter could be a nothing burger. He could be a guy that doesn't even get drafted or something. It's certainly, possible. We don't really know. There's so many good running backs. It's hard to really know. But I don't blame you for liking Neal, and I don't think I'm not gonna make you take a lap or anything on that. But these are my Buckies, and I don't see it. You're not convincing me. You're not convincing me to move them in, but you can try if you want to give us a little bit of a an argument. But I like him. Doesn't do it.
So you said that you didn't know me before, but now you're going to know me as the Devin Neal guy, right? I'm the Devin Neal guy.
Okay.
Right? And every time I call it now, I'm going to let you know this is the Devin Neal guy. But that's how you're going to remember me.
What happens if he's not? What happens when he's not Bucky Irving? Then what do we call you? The Devin Neal guy?
Then I'm still the Devin Neal guy. You know what I mean? Then, you get the Devin Neal guy. I'm still a Devin Neal guy.
All right. Well, you're talking to the Bucky train conductor. So I don't know who you think you are coming in here and trying to act like you're.
I was on Bucky before
You're on this train. You're on this train, pal.
No.
I don't think so.
No. Listen.
We don't have any evidence of you conducting a train.
I called in a bunch of times last year to talk to you. Again, DC dude. Anyway, I was on Bucky before you was on Bucky. All right?
Okay.
And this year is Devin Neal.
Everybody's got a story. Okay, Devin Neal guy. When I hang up with you tonight, I'm going to type you in as Devin Neal guy. That way we don't forget you.
Yeah, type me in. Because you'll be hearing from me.
Yeah. Well, we'll be waiting. And then when Bucky or when Devin Neal doesn't become Bucky, I don't think you'll call in again.
I called in last year. I was right about Bucky.
Don't remember.
But okay, we're going to see. We're going to see.
Travis called in and told us about Tom Brady. I remember before the show was even here, Travis was on the phone line telling us about Tom Brady. If a tree falls,
I was like 14 years old.
He was -7.
About it.
All right. Well, you want to tell us about Devin Neal? You want to convince some people?
Okay. Well, I was driving, so I ain't got my stats in front of me.
Oh, so you're so high on him, you don't know anything about him.
No, listen. All you got to do is watch the tape. See, that's how I know you didn't watch the tape.
No. First of all, excuse me. I've been doing this longer than most people have been able to shard on their own. Okay. So don't tell me I don't watch film.
Not longer than me.
Don't tell you're I beat you at everything guy. That's who you are. You're the hey. Remember,
I'm the Devin Neal guy.
Are you gonna go to bed later than I am tonight?
I am. I'm just getting home from work.
Are you? Do you drive faster than I do? I bet you wear your shoe bigger. If I wear a size 13 if I wear a size 13 and a half, you wear 14? You wear 14 if I wear a 13 and a half, don't you?
I do wear 14. How did you know? I really do.
Uh-huh. So, okay, just real quickly, tell me something about Devin Neal that you could verify without your notes.
Well, I can tell you that when I watched the tape, that he was highly impressive. And again, I'm a tape guy. I'm not a numbers guy. Right?
Okay, but you gotta have something on it. And look, I'm not trying to tell you I don't like Devin Neal. I'm just saying you're coming in with a lot of bold. I was first on this. I was first on that. I was born before you. I'm taller than you. I got size 14. You got size 13 and a half. I'm the one that conducted the Bucky Irving train, not you. The trees fell in the forest, and I heard them, even though no one else heard them. I'm just saying, I like Devin Neal, but do you have any kind of data or anything you could throw at us? Something you remember? How many 1,000-yard seasons did he have? Like, what kind of touchdowns did he score? Do you know? I mean, that's not algorithmic, equations I'm asking you to recite. I'm just saying, if Devin Neal's so good, do you have anything on him? I don't know that you're even able to recite anything.
All right. Well, look, here we go. Kansas, all-time leading rusher.
He's looking
Devin Neal holds the school record for career rushing yards for 4,200.
Now he pulled over.
48 touchdowns.
Bro pulled over.
All-time leading rusher.
Bro's reading stats now. All of a sudden, he's got
ChatGPT. I told you I'm home now.
I know, but my point is, I asked you to just
before that.
Look, I didn't even. I'm not even against Neal. I like Neal a lot, but I'm just saying when I went to you, when you tried to call in and say you're the best at all this, I just merely said I wasn't even trying to go at you, and I wasn't trying to tear Neal down. Just give me something. You're like, well, I don't have anything on Neal. I just know when I watched him, he looked good. Like, that's not somebody that I remember calling Devin Neal.
Okay, well, I would take this with you, right? Kansas all-time leading rusher, and he became the first Jayhawk to rush for 1,000 yards in 3 consecutive seasons. take that with you as well.
I know more stats on him than you do apparently, because you couldn't even recite anything. I mean, you guys had 1,000 yards 3 straight years, so like I like him. I don't think you just didn't have a good argument on it. That's all I was asking you. Like, hey, if you're the Devin Neal guy, like give us something. You want me to remember you're the Devin Neal guy, but when you were in the car and you were, and I asked you to just defend him, talk about him, you couldn't give me anything. So like, I know this is going to hurt to hear, but if Devin Neal lands, I don't know that I'm even going to credit you, because you couldn't even give us anything. Yeah. I think I'm going to give the credit to Travis.
Hold up, I named myself after the guy, and you're not going to give me credit for that?
Well, I'm just saying you didn't seem to off the cuff know anything about him. Now that you're home, you got a whole lot of information on him, obviously. But I'm just saying,
I was trying to get home safely, Smitty.
I know.
Okay?
Look,
we'll
consider letting you be the Devin Neal guy.
Devin Neal stats just memorized at the top of my head.
Well, I know, but bro, you came in here and said, this is how I know you didn't watch the film, Smitty. Look, I watched the film on everybody. So first of all, that's insulting. Good thing I've got thick skin and it doesn't even hurt my feelings and I don't care. But that's one way to try and get me to remember you, sure. But I just think that if he's your guy, you would have something like, hey, this guy had 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons, or hey, he scored over 15 touchdowns in his last 2 years. You'd have something to say why he was good, not just I watched film on him and he looked good. And so to suggest I didn't watch film on him, I locked myself in the studio for about 12 to 18 hours watching every single rookie over in January. Then I do it again after the draft, just to make sure I didn't miss anything, so that landing spots help me, double stamp and triple stamp. But I'm just saying, you called in with guns blazing that you're the number one at this. You called Bucky before me. I have a size 14. You have a size 13. I'm bigger, stronger than everything you do. And I just said, okay, this guy sounds serious. Tell me about Devin Neal. And you went,
excuse me, but I'm trying to get home safely. Smitty.
Well, you're the one that called into this. You're the one that called into the show. You're the one that called into the show to brag about the Devin Neal take. And I'm just saying, I think it's the way you came off on it that made me even inquire. But I just wanted you to tell me why you liked him. Let me tell you why I like Devin Neal. Okay, so that when this all goes the right way, you can remember I told you. Devin Neal is a pretty decent receiver. Let's just say, catching over 20 passes per season in the last 3 years. 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons. His average is 5.8 last year, 6.3 the year before, 6.1 the year before. I like this kid. He's a good player. He's a really good player. 215, pretty nice size, 5'11". This is a prototypical potential between the tackles guy, old school like, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything in today's NFL. I like him. He's also well liked, it seems, for a lot of the teams out there. So there is a chance he lands in a really good spot. Very, very good chance. And he also could still land in a very cloudy spot that has some very good long-term upside, like a Minnesota Vikings or something like that. Could he land in Washington? Look, I'll be the first to tell you, if this guy lands in Washington, if Hunter lands in Washington, if Dylan Sampson lands in Washington, if Bashal Tutin lands in Washington, if RJ Harvey lands in Washington, no matter who it is, they're going to be an amazing potential prospect. If this guy Neal lands in Cleveland to be the starter, he's going to be a very, very good prospect. I don't know that you've convinced me, though, that you're the leader of this pack, though.
Okay, hold up. I got one more for you. The first player in Kansas history, right, to rush for 200 yards in a game and 100 yards in a game. He had 200 yards rushing.
I would have been way more impressed. I'd be way more impressed if you had that before you got home and looked it all up. But anyway,
well, excuse me for having a life, Smitty.
You called in to me. I didn't track you down in the middle of your drive home. I didn't track you down in the middle of your drive home to come in and debate Devin Neal. You called me.
No, you told me to spit off some stats like I'm a walking chat.
I didn't say spit off some stats. I said, tell me one thing. How tall is he? Give me anything. You couldn't give me anything. Not what you said. I watched him. He looked good. To me,
No,
I
the way
can't
you
hand
said
you
it
the
like
Devin.
that.
I can't
No, it
hand
was
you
like
the
you
Devin
wanted
Neal
that.
crown on that. I can't hand you the Devin Neal crown on that. I don't care if he lands or not. I don't think I can hand it to you. I might call you the fake Devin Neal, or the Walmart version Devin Neal fan, #1 fan. I don't know. Let's go around the phone line and ask. And bro, I don't.
Hold on, wait a minute.
I don't mean to. I don't mean to make you
Wasn't you
feel awful tonight. You're the one that came in and told me that my shoe size is smaller. You're taller than me. You know.
6'4", 6'4", 6'4".
Of course you are. Of course you're tall. Of course you have to be an inch taller. Everything's 2 inches taller, really. Let's go over to Kyrie Boston. Kyrie, will you anoint? I'm sorry. What was your name again, bro? I'm thinking Devin Neal guy. So you already got me thinking that. What's your name again?
Dude.
I'm a Devin Neal guy.
The what?
DC dude.
DC dude?
Yeah, DC dude. You don't remember me, Smitty? This DC dude, man.
DC dude. I kind of do remember DC dude.
I remember him. I remember you.
Yeah, is that what we called you on the phone?
Yeah,
line?
I'm offended.
Is that what we called you
from last season?
I think I do remember.
You was the Ricky Pearsall guy, wasn't you, Smitty? How's that going for you?
I don't think he.
He got shot.
I think he's on the wrong show. I think he's on the wrong show.
You was high on Ricky Pearsall last year, Smitty. Stop it.
Before the landing spot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Before the draft.
Like I don't. Do you
Yeah,
know?
it was before the draft.
Did anybody remember me talking
No,
to Ricky Pearsall after the landing spot? I don't think so. I don't think so, bro.
No, you was high on Ricky Pearsall all last year.
No, you're wrong. Everyone here is laughing at you, bro. That's not true. Everybody watching knows my content, bro. They know I'm not a Ricky Pearsall guy. I'm anti-Ricky Pearsall. I tell people to trade him left and right. Ask anybody watching right now about Ricky Pearsall and me, and they go, Smitty tells you to trade him anytime you bring up a Ricky Pearsall question. You're off your rocker. You're mixing up different shows. You're mixing up all different kinds of things. Ricky Pearsall. That's where you. Hold on. That's where you come in here. That's where you come in here to try and rip on me for is Ricky Pearsall. First of all, the only thing I did on Ricky Pearsall gave him a really solid wide receiver 6-7 ranking from the pre-landing spots. Then the Niners shot their wad, took him around 1, and it was done. It was done. This is a good prospect. Landing spots were handed out. You never heard me say Ricky Pearsall's name ever again. And you come in here and say, how's that working out? I don't know. I'm not a Ricky Pearsall guy. So you're already shooting blanks.
Before the landing spot. I give you that, but you was high on Ricky. I wasn't.
I can't
wait.
But
we both were high on Bucky.
He didn't know what he's saying.
We both were high on Bucky, right?
It's just Gump.
And now I'm high on Devin Neal.
It's just Gump. This is either Denny sober. This is either Denny sober or this is Gump.
3 X's. Yeah, 3 X's.
Yeah, you got 3 X's.
4 X's.
DC dude, call him tomorrow. You got 3 X's. I feel bad because he sounds like a fan and he sounds like, he loves the show and he's called him before. I do remember DC dude. I do remember the name DC dude. I do remember it.
I remember me.
But he just got dunked on. You get 3 X's and you're off the phone line. Unfortunately, it's the rule. So don't take offense to a DC dude, but the balls on this guy to come in and try and challenge me. I'm the Bucky. I'm wearing a Bucky shirt, mofo. What are we talking about here? I'm wearing a Bucky shirt. Do you know who this is? You probably don't even know.
Wrote a song.
I probably walk up to him like this. He go, what's that shirt? What's that shirt? Who's on that? Who is that? And then we go, you don't know football then. I mean, they come in here and Ricky Pearsall. You got to come in and try and sting me with a Ricky Pearsall line. What are you talking about? It's like saying, Smitty, I heard you thought the world was flat. How's that working for you? Didn't say anything of the sort. He's about 1.5 inches taller. He's got one size shoe bigger than me. If I woke up on the right side of the bed, he'd wake up on the left side of the bed. This guy's trying to one up everything I'm doing. We're not working.
Smitty.
Yeah, go ahead.
Last year when Samuel.
The thing for me is.
Hold on 1 second. Let Kyrie Boston ask his question, and I'll go over to DJ.
Right.
Go ahead, Kyrie.
Right, Kyrie. Go ahead.
I was going to say last year when Deebo Samuels and Ayuk got injured, I think you did mention Ricky Pearsall as someone who could come in. I think you did mention that one point
on a show where we talk about every single possibility. Oh, this guy gets hurt, Ricky would come in. Like, of course I mentioned his name, but this is not a player after the landing spot that I ever said was a sleeper, a go-get guy, a trade for, a monster, you know. But there was a point where we really liked him pre landing spot for sure. But that's not like you hang your hat on of the content like he's trying to take a stab at something. It's just like
I was wondering, was he talking about when you said he was a good streaming option when all the wide receivers were injured in San Fran? Was that what he talking about?
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, to Blico's point, Ricky did come in and ball out. I'd take credit for that if it was really something I said. I'd be like, yeah, he did do good at the end of the year. But I didn't call it. I didn't want Ricky, and I still don't. He's okay. I'm not saying he's a bust or a horrible player. I just think that the hype's a little high. You know, the situation's murky, and we don't know like what the pecking order is going to be. Maybe he's a good like best ball guy. I'd probably rather have him in best ball because you can't control how long he blows up if he does at all. Like it's not. But it's just funny because I didn't talk Ricky up at all during the season at all. I definitely talked about him in the rookie. Like, I mean, guys, I'm doing a rookie analysis video. I've talked about everybody. Like, you could literally come in here and say, "Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up right here. Here's my mock. Here's the mock draft." You could literally say, "Smitty, you were the burden guy. You had him number 8 on your." Oh, everyone's on this list right now. You know, some of these guys I might not be high on once the landing spots are handed out. You know, Shedeur Sanders, I might not want Shedeur at all if he goes to a horrible location where he can't even play. And then what? I'm going to be the Shedeur Sanders guy all year long? Like, just wild takes tonight. Unbelievable. I'm sure he meant good when he called in, and I you know, didn't mean to blast him, but like all I did was try and ask him to say something nice about Devin Neal. I wasn't even trying to play a gotcha game with him. I wasn't trying to say, oh yeah, how many exact touchdowns did he have last year? I just said, okay, if you even replay it back, all I said was, hey, okay, make your argument for Neal. I said it real nice and calm. It was not a gotcha question. And he's like, well, and I'm like, I mean, anything. Give me anything. Give me a stat. Give me something to convince me. Tell me, you know? And he's like, I just watched him. I mean, look, you know, I think where I got defensive is when he said, I can tell you didn't watch any film on him. Or what? Like, what do you mean you could tell I didn't watch film on him? Because you like him more than I do? What the hell kind of comment is that? All right, go ahead, DJ.
DJ, yeah. So I'm new, new to the show. So the guy they called before, I'm gonna know him as like the Devin Neal guy. I mean, I think Smitty, you have just a damn good show, right? That people will call in and be like, what? Wait, you don't remember me? Remember me?
I mean, I feel bad. I was being honest.
You had to help us.
I also didn't know what he said. I also didn't know what he said when he said, dude. It sounded like he said something else. And when DC Dude, I'm like, I do remember DC Dude. I think on the phone line. I think I had him programmed in. Now, my phone line changed, so I don't have his name. I would have said, DC Dude, what's up, if it was still in my phone line.
But that's good.
He said something else.
Kudos to you, my man. Yeah. But Devin Neal's not a bad.
No,
Devin Neal's not a bad pull. He's kind of like a reminder like Stevenson. I mean, he's not very like explosive, but yeah, he can catch and
Devin Neal
between the tackles.
Yeah, Devin Neal is good.
Yeah.
There should not be an anti-Devin Neal segment by any means. Devin Neal, just so everybody is aware, the only reason we're going at that situation the way we are, here's Devin Neal's mug right here, and here's his stat line, which is very impressive from last year. He had 12, 66, and 16 touchdowns, 5.8 a pop. Very good player. Very good player. His landing spot is a little less secure than some other players, but like anybody, like Hunter, like Harvey, like Tootin, like Scatterbo even, landing spot could turn him into a monster. That's the way it is. I mean, look at Arian Foster, undrafted free agent. Loved the hell out of that guy. I'm sure Devin Neal guy had him higher ranked. I had Arian Foster, undrafted running back at the top 5 to 10 running back. He probably had him top 4 to 10. I'm sure. I'm sure he did. he literally. That's where the conversation went awry. Is when he's trying to outdo me on my own show with everything I said. I'm the Bucky guy, not you. Wear a Bucky shirt. You call into my show and tell me I'm higher than Bucky than you. I have been. I was higher. The tree fell in the forest when you didn't hear it before your tree fell. And I'm sitting here doing a Bucky show with the Bucky shirt, with the Bucky song.
Get Buckied.
And you're gonna call into my show and try and one up me. What do you think's gonna happen?
I'm gonna find that episode where you talk about Bucky.
You're gonna get dunked on.
I'm gonna find that episode for you.
It's insane. Okay. Anyway, no, you're not, Kyrie Boston. You're gonna forget this conversation even ever happened. Number one. And number two, you know how many hours and hours. All right, let me go over to Travis. Actually, I got to end the show here. I'm getting a little tired. Kyrie Boston, final thoughts.
Right on.
No, have a good night. Thank you, Smith. I'm gonna let you go this time.
Later. DJ, last thought.
Right on. Till the next show.
All right, later, bro.
Appreciate you, gentlemen.
All right, thanks, man.
Take care.
Travis, final thoughts. The high stepper.
Yeah, just two guys that I was curious about. One is Jordan James. He was there with Bucky, and it was decent. I haven't heard much about him. I see him ranked all over the place. Then another guy people talked about a ton a couple months ago, and now you don't hear almost anything about, is Taj Brooks. Do you have anything on either of them?
Yeah. So the thing is, it's just about like where are the teams ranking these guys, and so the reason they're not higher ranked for me is merely that simple fact of it's not that I don't like some of these guys, but the fact that they're literally so far down the rankings, it's hard to imagine them falling into a starting spot. So the cloudy spot that they fall in could be, the reason they climb up. But like even looking at, you said James, right? The first guy. I mean, I don't even think he's in the top 40. Where is he at? James.
I see him ranked anywhere from like.
Yeah, I'm trying to even
9 or 10 to like 20s.
Let me see if I can sort by running back. Hold on. Let me see if I can sort by running back. So you've got James about 14. And I'm not saying that the NFL teams rank him exactly the same as we do, but he's 14. And you said the other one was who?
Was it Brooks?
Brooks,
he's big. He put up big numbers.
Yeah, he's around 17 to 20 consensus-wise. So that just means that there's a strong likelihood that they go undrafted more than they go like anywhere in like the 5 or 6 round range. And then when they go in the 5, 6 or undrafted, their draft capital is so low that's one big concern. Not saying they can't overcome it like, like Kyron or Arian Foster or, anybody that's overcome low draft capital, even quarterbacks like Brock Purdy. But it does add another level of concern that you're saying to yourself, like, if a team likely to wait till round 6 or pick them up after the draft, the investment's so low. And the reason that's important, I know a lot of people, including me, will be kind of against that thinking overall. Like, if the player can play, they can play. But the problem, the rationale behind why it's a problem is that if, let's say, you get hurt or you struggle with something, you're done. Like, they don't wait around for you because the draft capital is so low, they cut bait and you're gone and you have to go emerge somewhere else. Or if you're not picking up something,
Frank Gore,
they'll move on. Yeah, like Frank Gore Jr. Yeah, Frank Gore Jr. If he was drafted in the 3rd round, he would probably be in good position right now. But because he was a late draft pick, he never got a shot, then they just move on. It's like, what's the cost of Frank Gore Jr.? Oh, yeah, we picked him up, practice squad him. Oh, what's the cost of Frank Gore Jr. now? Big deal. No, we'll move on. It's wild,
yeah.
How
Scarlet letter.
Yeah, so those are the things standing in the way of these players. I think Devin Neal rises above that because he's kind of like a consensus top 25 overall skill position offensive player. And if we look at running backs, he's about 7 or 8. He's above Tootin, Devin Neal. He's above Sampson. He's above Harvey on consensus data. But that's another thing that I was trying to get to before we got off on a tangent. He asked me why Devin Neal wasn't in the conversation, because he's ranking a little bit in that cutoff area. Like, I could have put him in and argued it, but like I started to say, I got Scattaboo. I pushed him in. He's the 6 overall running back. Devin Neal's 7. I definitely, cut some corners getting Scat in there, so I could have put Neal. But I was trying to dig deep. I wasn't trying to get all 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ranked running backs. So I took Scat, and I felt like I already cheated enough to get somebody that was ranked in the 6, 7 running back territory to get Bucky. I didn't want to go in the 4s or 5s to get Bucky, because I think that's not a good representation of how sneaky good Bucky was. So I grabbed Scat at 6, but I wanted to go a little deeper. So I went Sampson, Harvey, Tootin. We're all a little bit lower ranked, but anyway, I just thought that.
It's. I just figured I'd ask, just because, like I said, that you look at different sites or people that do the, compile rankings, which, it's their opinion ultimately, probably, but and guys like that are just all over the place. So I was just curious what your thoughts were.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of those guys this year that are 7th rounders and undrafted. So.
And shout out to DC Dude. I don't want DC Dude to think I don't, like that he called, and I appreciate him. And I do remember the DC Dude name. I do remember that name. I don't remember any of the predictions or anything, but I remember DC Dude. But I just think it might be your approach that you're better than the show or the host or everybody else around you kind of approach you had when you called in. I think that might not serve you well dialing into this show. Be like, Smitty, I'm higher on you than all your players. Like, it's not going to fly with me. I'm wearing the apparel you're not. All right. I'm out of here, Travis. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, talk to you later. Thanks.
Not to mention, it doesn't matter who's first on anything. It's like, Bucky was a guy that developed inside the NFL, so it doesn't even matter. Like, what matters is you reacting, representing, going and getting him, how you talk about him moving forward. Like someone's going to be first on something somewhere that's always going to be there. Like, it's funny. It's funny. But anyway, appreciate you all. I think this is a good little episode. I'll see you all tomorrow. Don't forget to get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com. That link I'm going to drop in the live chat. It's in the description of every video if you need the link later. But this is the link to my rankings, bold predictions, trade calculators. I've been doing this longer than almost anybody, but like a few people, like Matthew Berry and a few others that were in the industry just like a year or so before me. This content has been up since then. We've been dropping monster fantasy football content. I got in the business. DC Dude, I'll tell you, he invented the trade calculator, but I got into the business because there was no trade calculator, and I wanted a trade calculator, and I wanted a year-round trade calculator. I wanted an instant-based trade calculator. So your boy came in and did it live in 2002/2003. So that's why I created that and got into the business to begin with. Patreon. Join the Patreon. $10 a month. It's a live chat community. It's the exact live chat group you see in the live chat tonight. It just extends over to Patreon. As soon as we're done, we go over there. I'll go over there right now. In fact, I'm going to type right now what's up to the Patreon people. Let me pull up Patreon. Let me go into the general chat, and let me just say, yo, what is up? Any topics for tonight? And I'll ask the question, and everybody just file into the Patreon right now. And let's go have a conversation. To join, click the link that has been dropped in the live chat. And don't forget to get on over to Underdog, promo code Smitty. That link is pinned in the live chat. It's also in the description of the video and every video. Go draft an Underdog team and do it live. And Justin, with the final super chat of the night, appreciate you, my boy. H.N. Kamara and question mark for Genty in Dynasty. Overthinking it. H.N. Kamara and question mark. It depends who the question mark is that you're throwing in, though. I imagine it's not going to be bigger than H.N. or Kamara, but it's going to decide whether I do it. I'm going to say give me Genty over Kamara and Achane by a country mile. So it does depend what you throw in, but I don't think what you throw in will convince me not to do it. I want Genty, and I'm doing it live.
Hey, I'm Dom, and I drive fast cars, get hot chicks, and draft Ashton Genty double fist style with 2 cell phones at the same time. Why do I have 2 cell phones? One for looking up Ashton Genty stats all day, the other is for getting chicks.
Get buckied. Buckied.
Buckied. Oh, Bucky.
Yeah.
He's a 5. JD5 is the only 5. JD5 is him, and now all can see. He graduated from Himothy University. Unleash the Washington Kraken. JD5 to Saturn
and beyond.
To Saturn
and beyond.
Supernova.
Live Monday through Friday. Live whenever big news breaks, in addition. So whenever news breaks, it's big, I go live. I go live also additionally Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. And I go live additionally most graveyard shifts at midnight Eastern. Justin dropped one more super chat. Guys, can you vote in the chat on this one? Devontae Smith, Achane. So here's his full offer for Genty. I gotta say, Justin, there's a lot of things that are important to know. Like, what's your team look like? Which I won't be here long enough to see your question. But Achane, Kamara, and Devontae Smith, he's throwing in for Genty in Dynasty. Would you rather have Achane, Kamara, and Devontae Smith or Genty? I'm probably going to say Genty, bro. I hate you throwing in Devontae Smith, though. But Devontae Smith is, 26? Kamara is old man. You could even throw Kamara out of this question. By the end of the year, he'll be done. So Achane will be yet another year older. I don't know. It seems like a lot. It does. I try and give up something less, but at the end of the day, I'd rather have Genty. I just would. But try and do it. Try and get rid of somebody a little lesser. Appreciate you. We'll see you all later. Doses.
He's BTJ. What you gonna do? He's BTJ.
Hide your mamas.
He's gonna put it on you. He's BTJ. Gonna have a good game. He's BTJ. Your mama screams his name. BTJ is going to put it on you. There's not a single thing that you can do. BTJ is going to put it on you. There's not a single thing that you can do.